Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 AP English and the Roberts Lectures. We are in the poetic section. We are on page 709. We're now looking at Bonny George Campbell, the late 16th century poem that is usually assigned as anonymous for an author. It's a beautiful little poem, and it's, of course, a beautiful song. So we're going to listen to it in its song version, and we'll try to figure out what in fact is going on here. Here, as so many of these Scottish songs will play the game, a Highland song, a sad song. We'll be playing similar kind of games with earlier titles that were very similar to this one that we've already studied in Roberts. What's going actually on in the poem? And of course, let's emphasize here speaker as well. So let's go ahead. We'll just listen to the poem now and get a sense of it, right?
George Campbell went out on a day, saddled and bridled, so gallant rode he. Home came his good horse, but never came he. Home came his good horse, but never came he. Saddled and bridled and booted rode he, with a plume in his helmet and a sword by his knee. Home came the saddle, all bloody to see. Home came his good horse, but never came he. Home came his good horse, but never came he.
So let's take a look now at the poem. Of course, this is a sad poem. Yes, it's a poem of the tragedy of loss. Obviously, we have Bonny George Campbell, who rides out, never comes back. His horse comes back, but obviously empty and obviously bloody, and it leads us to ask the question, what went wrong, right? This, of course, a poem, notice as well, where we'll have this speaker, and especially two women, right? The wife and obviously the mother, both of them deeply distressed by the fact, my meadow lies green, my corn is unshorn. I'm just working now at line 17. My barn is to build, my babe's unborn. In other words, this cannot be happening to me right now. And any time that we experience loss, like in 3B when we'll ask in a bed, we've got to deal with something inexplicable. Let's jump to 2A quickly. Obviously, one of the major messages here is the loss of what you love, the person you love. Unexpected loss especially is absolute hell. At 2B, obviously, it's a Highland song. Obviously, it's a sad song. The rhythms are beautiful. And notice the rhythms play lovely in terms of the sadness, right? And of course, the speaker, especially the wife, who is so distraught by what it is that's happening. We've, of course, at 3A already seen Burns's at page 683, Green Grow the Rashes O, and of course, at page 649, Sir Patrick Spence. We've given lectures on both of these already, and you can go back and look at those at learnstrong.net. I want to think, though, about the epic tradition, because this poem captures that epic tradition. Notice in the Iliad and in the Odyssey and in the Aeneid, we've given lectures, detailed lectures on all of this, but just go back and think for a second about the ways in which dealing with tragedy, dealing with loss is fundamental to those poems, and capturing some of the sense of despair that's a part of this. And speaking of it at 3B, to try to relate to this in some way, when was the last time that you were really shocked by an unexpected loss and you had to deal with it? How did you deal with it? How did you get through it? Well, there you go, a powerful example of how words can speak to the pain of our lives. Thank you.